Hello, hello, hello. A little bit of a surprise, isn't it? It's been a while. It's been a long while. Welcome to morning stretches for the first time in a blue moon. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for joining me. So hopefully the heading of today's video is on point for you. Just wait for a few people to come in. Say hello when you're here. Let me know that you're there and can you hear me and all of those good things. While I'm just waiting for a couple of people, I'm just going to grab the link and share it onto my, I know I better not, I think I'll do it later. Oh Sam, how are you? How is it in your lovely shop out in the beautiful countryside? Very good. So, oh, hello Karen. How are you? Massive headaches. Yes, yes. Yes, that's the title of today's chat. And I will be, oh, hello Sarah. It's good to see you. So, August has essentially kicked our bum a little bit, a lot. And it's manifesting in headaches, exhaustion, dreams off the charts, irritation, feeling like you need to go and hide in a corner somewhere and not having to do anything with peopling. So yes, I see here people have, the comments are coming in about the headaches. Hello Donna. So, you know, I have obviously I have a group of healer colleagues in my life, and the same thing, as soon as the headaches start, we look to the choices that we're making. Are we drinking enough water? Is it hormonal? Is it the full moon? Have we eaten anything that may have caused toxicity in our system? When I put a post on my page, on my Amanda Foy wall or Amanda AF wall, I had a couple of people, because I put in headaches anyone and then non-alcohol induced. So sometimes the alcohol can bring headaches, which is essentially dehydration. Anyway, so the point being, a number of my healer friends that also know what to do when you get a headache, if you've got to go to the chiropractor, or if your neck is all jammed up, that sort of thing. We've ticked all of those boxes and the headache's still there. So that's when I go to my research facility, which is my Facebook personal page, and ask who else has got headaches, or who else is having crazy dreams, or who else feels exhausted. So it's energy. Okay, so if you've ticked all the boxes of doing the drinking more water, going to the chiropractor, taking anything that causes toxicity out of your system, if you're having a bath with Epsom salts or anything like that, if you've done all of that and you still have your headaches, that's when I get to put my hand up and jump up and down on the spot and say it's the energy. Now, in the last week, we have had a energy hit, which did culminate in the full moon. Unfortunately, it's not going anywhere just yet. We are being pummeled from every direction with the energy that is that what I call the collective, or the greater whole, or the collective consciousness is more of a mainstream term. And it's the fact that there are so many different things also happening in and around the world that cause people grief, or because it's been so sustained since March of last year when the pandemic hit, it's like hit after hit after hit. And you look at what's going on in Afghanistan, you look at what's going on in Haiti, the COVID numbers are jumping and spiking again. We have governments who are saying one thing and then not, you know, this is the era that we're currently in, is anybody out of integrity is having everything show up and land in their lap. So there's this collective energy also of anger, resentment, being fed up, like the exhaustion part of it is huge. Okay, so I'm just going to go to my trusty, book, and I'm going to give you the foundation of all of my work for every part of my life since I was 14, is that emotional trauma makes you sick. Now, the biggest thing that I'm trying to get people to understand and shift into understanding is that emotional trauma can come from the energies. So you know how we have the globe, and we have if you look at a picture from the space station or whatever, there's that nice little blue glow all over the top of the world. It's like that's our protection bubble, okay? So if you have 7 billion people upset about something in the world, all of that energy is going to come out and bing off that blue bubble of protection and come back down, together with the planetary alignments. Now, I learned something yesterday. One of my favorite tarot astrologer people on the planet is Romy Weiser, and if you're not following her, you need to. She does these posts each month for each star sign, and they're just great. They're like the same thing. They're a reading for the collective versus individuals, but they're always very spot on. And she made a point yesterday that helped me sit back in my chair, just like I just did now, with the holy crap, it's just, she's right. So if you believe in the fact that your soul has had many lives, and we go through those lives to work through things to come back and get sort of to the next level on understanding those sorts of things. Every time you've reincarnated on this planet, the big things are always the same. The planets are always the same. The big mountains are always the same. The bodies of water have been essentially the same. There's all of these massive energies that have existed across all time and space, that every time your soul comes back, they're already the same, they're already there. So we're living in a period of time that is, I believe, the greatest shift in 3 generations in humanity, in our belief systems, in who we are and what we're doing. And that's why the energies are pummeling us. They are kicking our butt, because humanity is being pushed through a mincer. And if you're struggling at the moment with the headaches or any physical ailments, those sorts of things, as I've always maintained, ticking the box might be going to the doctor and making sure everything is okay. But I want you to start bringing in the concept that energies and the collective consciousness can make an impact on your health if all of the other things are going, nope, I'm doing all of that. It's asking the question, okay? You ask the question, could this be energy, or is this mine? Okay? Now, headaches, so if you're somebody that is living with headaches at the moment, these are the key words associated to having headaches from an emotional point of view. Stress, tiredness, seriousness, too much going on, feeling out of control. Can you put that in the side of your mind, or hold on to that term, feeling out of control? Overwhelmed, overcrowded, frustrated, undermined, self-criticism, self-sabotage, invalidation of self, judgment of self and others, too much thinking and analysis. Hands up if any of those words landed for you in what's going on in your world. And P.S., if this is resonating, please do share the live for me, or tag somebody that you might know that may be having headaches. Start asking your friends or anything, does anyone have headaches at the moment? Watch this video, it'll help. What I'm hoping to achieve with what I share with you today, especially these things around judgment of self and others, okay? So feeling out of control is a biggie, because there are things happening in the world right now that are out of our control. We are having to go through a period of our life where we, in air quotes, have to trust the decision makers are doing things for the right reasons, for the good of humanity. Now we have, there's a giant conspiracy theory movement. There's a giant movement association, not movement, like dysfunction, I'll call it, associated to vaccine awareness. And please know that everybody is valid in their fears. Now that sounds a little bit weird, doesn't it? When you are driven by fear, your behavior will dictate that. If you're driven by fear, the way you behave will show up like a red spot on a white shirt. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Energetically, and I call it white noise, it's like the dull hum that's following you around. There is a distinct lack of trust that we have evolved through in the last, I want to say 4 to 5 years, perhaps 6 years, associated to the decision makers. Then we're living in an era where those out of integrity are having their world land in their lap, and we're seeing out loud all of these people who have had it their own way for a really long time, who weren't operating from a place of wholeness, and then boom, so it's coming out, and then these people are doubling down and saying that they're innocent or blaming other people and all of that sort of stuff. So your fear and the white noise or the dull hum associated to trusting has been severely impacted, which makes you feel like you're out of control. Okay? Now, you know the thing, when you're present, you're in your now. When you're thinking about the past, you're so far, you're yanking everything from your evidence bank over into here. And then if you're too far into the future, you're sitting in your wish or your hope. And if you're sitting in there thinking about your future with all of this fear in your now, you're not visualizing what you want. You're sitting, I heard this term the other day, you're living on hopium. So it's sort of like this neural pathway story going on in your head that's going, oh, and it's just not healthy, okay? So the part here about the judgment of self and others, even if, and this is the big part about collective consciousness energy, even if you don't give a flying fahooty what people choose as far as a vaccine or to not vax goes, even if you don't care, that you're sitting there and it's like it's your health, your choice, whatever you choose, I'm going to support you. There are so many people in the world at the moment that need to be right in their choice because they're frightened. So say, for example, you are sitting in the train cart that says, no, I'm going to wait until there's more research and just sit it out until I feel comfortable to have the vaccine. And then somebody comes into your world who's double vaxxed, they're all up, they're all ready to go, and the first thing out of their mouth is, have you had the vaccine? And you're somebody that feels compelled to answer with oh no, your truth, speaking your truth, and then they get cranky at you, or they start to question your choices or whatever, and then it makes the whole thing very uncomfortable. There would have to be an element of fear in that person that would generate that kind of conversation, because they need to be right. Now, when you're looking at fear of judgment and of yourself and others, part of the fear generation and the fear mongering is, am I making the right decision? If you know 1,000 times that you can trust the decisions you've made, you're doing all of the ticks to make sure everything is okay, and you don't give a flying fahooty what somebody else does with their life or their choices, then, and that can, this can translate into politics as well. Politics at the moment is the quantity of people that need to be right in who they're able to vote for or who is standing up, and those sorts of things is profound. But if you think about it, just as I'm talking about it, the pain in the back of my head has just started to throb, because that's the collective. It's this whole process of, what am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? How am I supposed, what if I choose? The what if statements are massive at the moment. What if, from a place of fear, is so debilitating I can't even begin to say? And every one of the people in the world at the moment that are trying to live their life out of control because these other big control mechanisms have been taken out of their hands, the amount of human error going on in the world that is creating more problems that create these other ones. If your what if is, what if the country never opens up? What if I have the vaccine and I get blood clots? What if my children have it and something happens? What if this long COVID thing is true? What if that government gets back in? What if the tax system doesn't change? What if the people of Afghanistan are never able to live a healthy life? What if the Taliban are telling lies and they're not changed and everything is going to go to shit? You know, there's so many what ifs that are creating this hum. And the big part of that, the big resulting part of that, is that this is the era also where you have to stand in your truth. So this is where I'm going to come in with, I did a session on Monday. Now, if anyone is watching this and you are part of my Evolved as Fuck group, do not buy into this, okay? It's Monday's session. I don't do it very often, but the energy is that rank that I'm taking Monday's session and I'm offering it as an energy healing for anyone who has headaches and is struggling at the moment. It's only $8 Australian. I just need you to put some skin in the game so that it's okay to have the energy come into your world. Now, this is what I want to shift to. In this session, you will hear why you have to stand in your truth. Because there is this element, and I go and take all of the gunk out of the system, out of 8 areas of the body, of the collective. The one thing that we're going through at the moment, and if you follow the Leo King, he spoke about this last week, it's like humanity is in a turnstile. So you know when either you go into a building and the doors are slotted and you go into your one bit and then it opens and you're allowed to come out, and people go into this turnstile. Right now, we are in a turnstile situation that if we speak our truth, then it gives the people in our world the opportunity to know who we are, what we're about, what's okay, what's not okay. And we give them the right of reply to decide to show us their hand about who they are and what they're about. And then both of us get to make a decision of, yeah, this relationship, friendship, acquaintance has come to its conclusion in that old era. If you lie to anyone that asks you what you're choosing in your world because you're not up for conflict or you don't want to upset anyone or anything like that, you are making a rod for your own back. I want to say unequivocally, if you hear nothing else that I say today, the most loving thing you can do to anyone in your world is to tell them your truth. Because as much as you deserve to be surrounded by people who are in alignment with your belief systems, so are they. So if somebody, I'll use the vaccine example, if somebody is fully vaxxed and they've taken exception to your choice to not vaccinate yet because you want to wait until the vaccines have gone through a longer research process, and they bear up, you're allowed to let them go to go and be with people who validate their decisions so that they can feel right and safe in their decision, that their fear is reduced because they're around like-minded people. It's the same with you being in your space of being around like-minded people. If you're going to put yourself in situations where, and this is also the case, if you're quite within your rights to sit there and say, you know what, these conversations always end badly, so I don't want to talk about it. And if that's your experience, that's your experience. If that person then sits there and decides to tell you their truth, then they've given you a loving opportunity to be able to decide whether you want to stay in that relationship or not. But you must live and speak from your truth. Do not hide any part of it, especially, thank you, Barbara, hello, with dealing with family right now. Often with family you have a greater chance of being able to speak your truth by letting them know, and they're not going to cut you loose. And if they are going to cut you loose, then it's probably the end of the agreement anyway. But if you know and understand that they need to be right, then you can send them compassion, and you can even say, I know you need to be right in your decisions, but I also need you to grow past your limits and accept that I'm a grown-up and I'm making decisions for myself, and that's okay. You know, there's no point in getting into what's important and what's not, okay? So I just wanted to give you a heads up about the energy. There is an energy session there. It's about 40 minutes long, I think. It is from the collective whole, walking in, and then 7 areas of the body. There is a tapping sequence that I encourage you to do first. So when you go to PayPal, you post your payment, it'll take you to my website with the thank you page, and it'll give you a link for a tapping sequence to open your energy to receive the healing. Make sure you have plenty of water with you, listen to the session, journal if you must, and then start to really tap into your what's okay, what's not okay. What is your truth? Who deserves to be given the time and space to hear your truth? Who is the group of people where you only establish what's going to happen before you say anything? And who is the group that doesn't deserve a reply at all? That's how you're going to manage yourself with this. You're going to manage your health and well-being. As far as the headaches go, make peace with feeling out of control and bring yourself back to what you can control. You can control what you eat. You can control who you spend time with, what you read, what you watch on TV, what you consume, the information. Protect your energy. My SoundCloud account has a whole heap of resources that are available to anyone about protecting your energy. Jump on there and start bringing that into your awareness. There are a whole heap of things that you can control to keep yourself in this present time. If you catastrophize, if you go back anywhere in anything, then that's going to bring everything undone. And I will say to those of you who are still here, I'm doing a new program. It's coming out very soon. I'm just recording some of the things at the moment. It's called The Requiem of Regret. The energies we're living are bringing up a whole heap of shit. It's like putting detergent in a dirty pan and it's bringing all the gunk off the bottom of the pan. And I'm taking you through it. So it's not very long, but it's very deep and it's very life-shifting, because I got a big download about what the regret energy does to your energy system, which is also buying into depleting emotional immune systems. So look out for that as well. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing any comments in the thread here. And again, if you have anyone that you think might need to hear this, please do tag them or send them the link to the healing session. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.